Hello and welcome to Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick with the City of Hampton. And today we're going to talk about one of my favorite shopping experiences. Comes around a couple times a year. It's the Bodacious Bazaar, if you haven't guessed. And my guests are Sandra Gardner, who comes by a couple times a year to tell us about it. And this time you've brought your host for the wine part of the festival. Oop, I just gave some things away.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Bridget
yes.
Weinberg, welcome.
Thank you.
You know, sometimes when there are festivals that happen once a year, we don't bring the guests back because they're kind of the same every year, so we can run a rerun. But you spring something on us every single time, don't you, Sandra?
Well, that's how I keep getting to come back. You know, we keep adding something, and it's like, hey, I've got something new. I got to tell you about it.
That's so cool.
And that's, well, you know, we're listening to the public here in the area and asking, what do you want? What can we do? What can we make this a great event? And they've spoken. They certainly let us know. I had 15,000 come through in November.
Yes.
So,
and you know, it wasn't crowded. At least I can't remember when I went, but it was a good flow. It was really nice.
Yeah, and you don't notice our crowds because I could sell more real estate if I made my aisles smaller, but I don't think that's what people want.
That's what it
is. They
is
want
then.
those aisles bigger so that they can, because they're going to run into their friends and they're going to visit, and they stand in the middle of the aisle and talk, and you know, then the vendors are hot because they can't get to their booth. Well, you know, we don't do that, and so we're trying really hard to listen to what people really want. And I used to be a vendor, so I kind of know a little bit about what I wanted and what I didn't want. And one of the things was we wanted big advertising, we wanted lots of space, and we want quality stuff. And we've done that. And so then the spring show, what we wanted to do is get families out. And we were a little concerned with adding, depending on what you added to it, would it keep people away? And so what we've done is we're doing a classy wine festival.
Yay!
Yay! You know, you don't want to do something and it end up being a drunk fest, or, you know, you can't bring your kids, and people come to shop and spend the whole day. So we talked and we went to all of the wine festivals, and by going to them, we learned from their mistakes so that we don't do the same thing. And so I turned this all over to a nonprofit because, you know, they have to host that and be, you know, all of that funds from the wine festival part goes to the nonprofit.
Well, and so you do that anyway at your show. You give back,
I do.
You know, a pretty large portion.
Yes, we do. We've been able to give back and really support the community. And I don't know whether I had told you last time, and hope I'm not repeating myself, but last March, the delegates, House of Delegates, recognized the Bodacious Bazaar for what it has been giving back to the community. We're very proud of that. And we're really hoping that the Wine Festival, and hosted by the Kelly Weinberg Foundation, is going to be something really classy, and the City of Hampton and the area will welcome it with open arms, because we've limited the number of wineries we'll have. You know, if you have 12 wineries and they all do 4 or 5 bottles of wine for you to taste, you have hit, you know, by the time you've hit 3 of them, you've got a good 12, 15 ounces in you, and you're pretty looped. And
you don't remember. That's the thing. Like, I make little notes.
Right.
So I take this very seriously. Right. But, you know, it all starts to run together.
Right,
too,
and you can't go back to buy because you can't remember where you tasted that good one. So, you know, we've limited it, and that'll be really good. You know, Bridget has a lot of good ideas on what to do to make this a real classy act, to add to an already classy act, because we think the Bodacious Bazaar is a class act. In our spring show, we now have not only the wine festival going on in the middle of it, we have a car show going on in the middle of it, we have over 220 vendors going to be there. We have entertainment. She's hosting all of our bands.
So let's just remind people, because if they forgot, last year you moved the spring show to Fort Monroe.
I did.
And this year you'll be back at Fort Monroe. And it's not quite along the boardwalk where it's windy. It's a few steps in.
It is.
Where it's a little more sheltered.
It's in the fields.
Giant tents.
Oh, these gorgeous, big, huge
people are
tents.
protected, you know, from the weather.
Come rain or shine, you've got it made there. You know, you've got these 3 big, huge tents with all these vendors in it. We now have a great food court. We have 15 beautiful food trucks that are going to be with us. And you know, that food, you can't get it anywhere else but at a festival.
I know,
so
it's so
fun. So good.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's the grease or that you're so hungry from walking around
Well,
or what it
I
is.
noticed,
but
though, is there's healthier and more creative
They
food
are.
truck options than
They
there used to
are.
be. You mentioned the Firehouse Pizza one. They bring a brick
yeah,
oven
brick oven.
basically, and on the they pull it, they tow it on
Yeah.
their. I saw them at Phoebus, and they're wonderful. And you said seafood soup. I mean, some dishes that are not just
we have a tiki truck
fries.
with ice.
Yes.
Really neat looking trucks. They're really beautiful. And we've got great music. Bridget has brought in some, the Weinberg Foundation has brought in some really great entertainment through the weekend. So
Bridget, let's talk about that. First of all, I learned this morning you are in one of these bands. You are a singer.
Yes, I'm backup vocals for the Bill Miles Band. So they'll be playing on Saturday, and we also have the DeLoreans playing Saturday evening.
They're so much fun. 70s
yes,
pop or
lots
80s
of fun.
pop.
80s,
I guess.
yes,
80s
lots
pop.
of
They're
fun.
Wearing
Friday,
neon colors,
yes.
it's a hoot.
And then we have Friday, we have Herbie D and the Dangermen.
I heard them recently. They're wonderful.
They are wonderful.
Really enjoyed them.
And we also have Anthony Rosano and the Conqueroos Friday
Yay.
evening. And then Sunday we have the Unexpected, talented group of teenagers that are amazing, and Bobby Blackhat.
And Bobby Blackhat from
Yes,
Hampton.
yes.
Wonderful,
So
wonderful
it's
blues
a
man.
wonderful lineup.
Well, this is like, got to get a multi-day ticket this year, right? You
Yeah.
can't just come
Oh, no.
once because of the wine and the music and the food.
Well, you'd never
I
get
could
through.
shop once,
Well,
but
I don't know.
you never
200
know.
and some vendors now spread out. I don't know whether you get them all or not.
This is exciting. So tell us the dates.
It is May 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Our hours are from 10 to 7 on Friday and Saturday, and 10 to 5 on Sunday. Now, the wine tasting part does not start until 12.
Yeah, that makes sense. You really don't want to get up unless it's a mimosa.
At 12,
maybe,
it's
on
5
it,
o'clock somewhere.
That's right.
So anyway, that starts at 12. So you can get there really early and shop and buy your ticket for the wine festival part, and not have to go online or anything like that to get it. You have plenty of time once you get there to get your wine tasting ticket. And there's a souvenir glass with our wine glass with each ticket. So it's going to be really an all-day and all-weekend affair.
Sounds like so
Yes.
much fun. And I will say, Fort Monroe did a great job last year. It was marked. There were directions to the parking areas. You had, I don't think I used it, but there were shuttles there.
We have trolleys. And the neat thing that we have this year, we have 4 hotels that are offering a great package, a reduced room rate, so that you can drink and ride responsibly.
What a great idea.
And the trolley will take you to your hotel every 3 hours. It'll do a sweep and go through the Hampton area, picking up at the 4 hotels, dropping off. And so you can come early in the morning, spend the whole day, and not worry about how much tasting you do, and enjoy the bands, enjoy the shopping, and then climb on a trolley and it'll take you back to the hotel. You'll have the room, and then the following morning they're offering, you get a free breakfast. Buffet breakfast.
That's
so,
great.
yes, you cannot
And how nice
beat
for
this.
your vendors, too.
It
They
is
can
wonderful.
park the car or the van and not have to go back to it until it's time to pack up.
A lot of them have already, they're going to leave their vehicles at site, and then they'll just catch the trolley back and forth through the weekend. So we've tried to think of everything to make it convenient and bring great vendors here. If you offer them the moon, they will follow you. But, we treat them well, and so we have been able to get some fantastic vendors. And they come from all over the country. That surprised me, because they do in the fall, but to come this far
I
in
saw
the
some new
spring,
ones in the fall.
what they're doing is they loved the area. So I probably have at least 10 that have decided to do the spring show, and they're coming and making it a vacation. So they're bringing their families. They've got the great hotel rate. They'll be coming.
that's
They'll be doing the show,
wonderful.
and then they're going to go to Williamsburg afterwards and really see the area. So I think that's a neat thing.
Yeah, bringing more people to the area.
It
That
is,
helps
it
the
is.
tax base, and once they see it and want to come back, they'll come back next
That's
year
right, that's
and do
right.
the show.
That's right.
Well, now, Bridget, I want to talk just a little bit about the foundation that you set up, because this has this very bittersweet connection to Fort Monroe that's coming full
Yes.
circle for you.
Yes. We started we were approved as a 501c3 back in 2009. And so I started it after moving back after my husband, Kelly, passed away from brain cancer in 2007.
And he had been stationed at Fort Monroe.
He was at Fort Monroe. He was the provost marshal there. And so I met him at Fort Monroe, and then we got married at Fort Monroe and moved away. And we were stationed at Fort Campbell when his brain cancer returned. And so when we moved back to the area, I was looking for cancer support for all those touched by cancer. So all types of cancer, family members, caregivers, and just couldn't find a whole lot. So we decided to start a nonprofit and start groups. And so we have a group that's up and running. It's been up and running for a while in Williamsburg. And it's hosted over at the Williamsburg Community Chapel is where we meet. And we're getting ready to start groups in Hampton and Virginia Beach. So we're in that process.
So the fundraising from the Wine Festival will go toward helping to
Yes.
set up more groups to support more
Yes.
people with cancer and their families. Because as you
Absolutely.
know, you go through a disease like that and it's not just the person with the disease.
And she has licensed facilitators. You know, they're there, and it's a great support group. Several physicians have been, and even have participated as group members.
Yes.
So that says a lot when you have a physician with cancer that comes. They're a great support group for each other, and we're very proud and honored to have them host our wine festival. And she's very generous, and because 20% of what she brings in, she is giving back to Fort Monroe for the honor of being out there too. So we think that's wonderful.
Well, it's such a special place, and you know, the Army took care of it for so long, and we kind of all need to help because the state
Yes.
can't afford to do
No.
the maintenance and the taking care out there
Right.
that truly needs to be done.
Right.
So wonderful to support that foundation that helps them with that.
Yes. And we're hoping that it'll put them in the black so that they now, you know, have whatever they put on out there, they're not running in the hole. And I think this year was their first year that they actually ran in the black, and we like to think that maybe Bodacious helped to do that.
Yeah, had a big impact
Yes,
on that.
yes.
And you know, it's one of those things too. It's like bringing people to Hampton. You bring people to Fort Monroe once or twice, they're going to want to come back.
Oh,
you know,
yes.
it's a great place to visit.
Well, you know, when we picked Fort Monroe, well, it was Bridget's, you know, she suggested it. But when, you know, we went out there and they accepted us, we were surprised that the public didn't know they could get out there. And so it really
People still
opened
don't
up the,
know.
I
Yeah,
know, and it
regionally especially,
has
or,
opened
you
up the
know.
eyes to the community and outside our community, you know, to let them know that, you know, Fort Monroe's open to the public. Come on out and see what it's got to offer.
That's
'Cause it's
right.
gorgeous.
That's right. And specifically, we want people to come out May 1st, 2nd, and 3rd.
Oh yes, May 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Spend May Day with us.
Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for coming by. I'm so
Thank
excited.
you.
Now I can't wait.
Oh, and
Ready?
our ticket price is great.
Oh, you should mention
I
that.
should mention that because she has really kept it at a great price. It's $7 to get into the bazaar, but it's only $20 for the wine tasting ticket. I've not seen that price anywhere. So that is
Wonderful.
I know. That is
Wonderful.
great. That's
okay.
great.
All right. I look forward to it. Thank you guys so much.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for having us.
And thank you for watching. I hope to see you out at Fort Monroe on May 1st, 2nd, and 3rd for the Bodacious Bazaar and Wine Festival. Thanks for watching.